who's the guest of honor, almost 98 years old. And he's going to tell us a couple stories from the day. Do you have some questions for my dad, Annette?
Yeah, Vic. I'm thinking about Weston, Pennsylvania. Can you tell us what it was like around your house? I know there were mountains.
There was a mountain on both sides of the town.
Did you ever climb the mountains?
Yes?
Yes. Did you go with your goats on the mountain?
No.
No.
Well, he did on the one side of the mountain where their house was, but the other side, you didn't take the goats over there to the other mountain.
Because goats usually like mountains. I thought they liked to climb mountains, so I thought maybe they would climb the mountains.
Well, they did. They were there, right? By the chicken coop.
Oh, you had chickens. That's great. Did you eat a lot of eggs growing up?
Yeah.
Who gathered up all the eggs? Did somebody go out every day and gather the eggs? Was there a certain person that had a job to do that in your family? So you guys just took turns going out? Did you sometimes go out and collect all the eggs?
Oh, yeah. I
nice.
did too.
Oh, and Annette said she did too. And your mom, it sounds like she did too. Yeah, nice. The nice fresh eggs sound good. Did you have electricity in your house?
Yeah.
You did have electricity? You could do a light switch and you turn the lights on? And what about water? Did you have running water in your house?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you have to pump it though, or did you have a faucet and you just turned on the faucet?
Turned on the faucet.
Oh, so you didn't have to pump your water. I thought you had to pump your water.
They did in the beginning.
Okay. Did you have flushing toilets?
Huh?
Did you have toilets in the house, like bathrooms, like to flush, or did you have to go outside to go to the bathroom?
Outside.
Oh, so you had to go outside in like an outhouse kind of thing? Did it smell bad in there?
No.
Not too bad.
It didn't smell bad? Oh, that's
My
good.
mother would come every year and try to really clean it up.
Oh, well, that's
But-
nice.
Yeah. But my mother, she didn't like it because she'd have to carry the chamber pots down every morning. And it was a long walkway. And she was embarrassed for the neighbors to see her be the one always carrying out the chamber pots.
Oh,
So,
not too fun of a job, huh?
not too fun of a job.
Wow. How did you stay warm in your house?
There was no heater.
No heater. Fireplace or wood stove?
There was a fireplace in the one room that heated my parents' bedroom.
Oh, so they got the warm room and then you were cold in your room?
Yeah.
And what made it warm? What made it hot? It wasn't
Coal.
Oh, coal. Not
Coal.
wood, but coal.
all coal. And he built there's a picture somewhere of him standing on a roof. And that was when he came to build the shed for the coal stove.
Yeah, Annette remembers
was
you
there.
building a coal shed. That's so nice that you
Yeah.
did that. That's great, Dad. Can you tell us the story of when you rode your motorbike and you were having a lot of problems?
Yeah.
What happened? Tell us about how many days you were on the motorbike and what happened.
I was on the motorbike for 3 days. And
3 days.
the belts were loose, so they were burning up them. So about every 40 miles, I had to change the belt.
Oh,
I used 6 belts to get home.
oh my gosh. Every 40 miles you had to get a new belt?
Yeah, they would slip it in and burn up.
Oh my gosh.
And then a truck driver tied me out of his truck and started pulling me up the hill, and I was swinging back and forth, and I thought I was going to kill.
Oh my gosh. So your bike actually went off the ground attached to the rope on the
Yeah,
back
and I
of a
was
truck?
going back and forth like
Oh
this.
my gosh.
was
That's
bad.
so scary. You didn't get hurt?
Luckily,
Oh my gosh. And did the driver not
Only
know?
you.
The driver didn't know that was happening? Because you'd think he would have stopped if he saw that.
no,
He wouldn't stop.
He wouldn't stop. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you were okay.
yeah,
I might not have ever been born.
That's
right, yeah.
And how many miles did you cover? Where did you go from? Where'd you start and where'd you end?
Niagara Falls, New York, back to Pennsylvania, my home
Oh.
in Pennsylvania.
Oh, Niagara Falls, New York, back to Pennsylvania.
Over 200 miles.
Wow, on a motorbike. That's crazy. Do you remember what kind of motorbike it was? Did it have a
No.
No.
It was a motorbike.
A motorbike, like a bicycle with a motor,
Yeah.
not a motorcycle?
Was it
No,
like
I couldn't find a
Indian or-
motorcycle, so I bought this bicycle with the motor on.
Wow, that's crazy. I can't believe that you went that far and that many days on a bicycle, basically.
It
Yeah.
was still there in 1956.
Really? Oh my
Yeah,
goodness,
it's
that's
still in the barn.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay, now we want to hear the other story about when you were in the Marines and you were on one of the bases and they asked, nobody wanted to do the job of like moving the latrine or something. What was that? Tell us that story.
There was a big, there was a big 500-gallon tank of crap from the other unit, and I started lifting up with the forklift.
Look, if he
Tell these people.
tell these people they're listening.
They're listening.
Yeah.
I started lifting up with the forklift, and it dumped over, and there was no top on it, so all the crap spilled all around the area and even down in the officers' quarters.
In the officers' quarters too.
Yeah.
So were they mad at you? What did they say when they knew you were the one that spilt all of that poop?
And they weren't happy. They were wearing gas masks.
They were wearing gas masks? That's hilarious. Did you have a gas mask too?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. For how many days did it stink? How did they clean it up?
I don't know. I don't remember how they cleaned it up.
So you didn't have to clean it up? You made the mess but didn't have to clean it up? Boy. That's funny. Oh my gosh. Had you been in the service very long when you did that?
Yeah.
You had, so because you were in for over 20 years, right? So how many years do you think you were in the service when that happened?
About 18.
Wow, so that was at the end.
Yeah.
So is that the first time you ever drove a forklift?
Yeah.
And the last,
He
hopefully?
volunteered. He told me I
Oh,
volunteered.
you volunteered because nobody else wanted to do the job?
That's
Right.
it.
Oh, yeah, that's a good man to volunteer to help when no one else would come through, but I guess they have to deal with the consequences because they didn't want to do it themselves. So, oh, that's funny. So I think Annette has a story that she wants
I
to
was
tell.
gonna ask Victor, you know your sister Esther? Not Edith. Esther. What color hair did she have?
Red.
Yeah, she had red hair. And as the story goes, and I believe it's written up in one of these books, if anybody has those pink covered books, she had the red hair, and her mother, her mom, and
Oh, bless you, Dad.
Angelina. Angelina, your mom didn't like her red hair. God bless.
Oh, goodness.
There must be something in the air.
Uh-oh.
But his mom did not like his red hair. So one day she decided to cut off all of Esther's hair and see if she cut it as much as she could off, it would come back a different color. Well,
That's terrible.
that didn't set well with Ricardo.
Oh.
And so he was all upset that they'd cut her hair. And Edith, my mother, was going to New York City to get a job. And they had to go 12 miles into Nuremberg. Well, she had to. Well, Esther climbed out the window and left the house, took what she could, and somehow met up with her. This was during the night. Met up with Edith, and they both took the train into New York City, and they both wound up staying there.
Wow.
They left home because of this hair.
How old was Esther, do you think, when that happened?
She was pretty young, probably 15, 16.
15 or... Okay, where's Caitlin? Where is she? I don't know where she is, but oh my gosh. I was going to ask her what she would think if her mom cut all her hair off. Wow. Oh, okay, okay. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. So
Yeah.
your mom and Esther must have been really close.
Well,
Or, I mean, they went there together.
Esther never took out the Chessel pots. They
Oh.
called them Chessels
Oh, so your mom didn't like that?
chambers.
Huh? Your mom didn't like that she never helped with that?
No, she didn't help with a whole lot. As far as, yeah, that and reading True Confessions magazines.
Oh.
She got to read True Confessions magazines when she'd go up to watch the cows.
Oh.
And they'd follow the cowbells around and try and keep them rounded up.
Oh.
So that was the kind of life they had. But I don't know if you're aware that our grandfather had probably three brothers. That leads to another story. I don't know if we have time.
No.
The one was sent as an escort for our grandmother when she came over in, what, 1903 or something like that. And she was the escort for her. They had Hofbrauhaus. Their family was associated with a Hofbrauhaus in Germany. And I guess she had gotten some experience there. And she had this uncle of hers come to be her chaperone for 3 years. He chaperoned her
Wow.
until she,
Till she got married?
Got married,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
So-
That would be awkward. It kind of reminds me of those shows on TV, like The Bachelor or something, where you're on camera all the time. So it's like she
Oh,
had
yeah.
someone there all the time. She couldn't.
Yeah, she was. They wanted her to be pure and good.
Wow.
And so they did have that.
So she was pure, but then she had 9 children.
Yeah,
She
she
was
didn't
making
want to
up for
have that
lost
many
time.
children.
They didn't want that many children.
No, she
Oh.
didn't.
Your mom had a lot of children.
Yeah.
9 children. That's crazy.
So there were the other 3 brothers in the town, and that one went back to the old country. The one that chaperoned her when she
Wow.
got married, he
Wow.
left. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, she's probably happy to get married and have her freedom until she had 9 kids, and then she wasn't so free.
She made wonderful bread
Oh,
on the door of the coal stove. And Victor was talking about
oh,
how
right, the
you
bread.
just had to open the
Your mom
the
made
floor
bread on
and
the
heat
stove.
would come
That's
up into
nice.
the bedrooms. It was very efficient
Oh.
because you had to
Oh,
use
so
it
you got to
cook.
stay warm from the heat from the bread stove, even though you didn't have any heater in your bedrooms.
Yeah.
Coal
Oh, so you were probably happy when your mom made bread, so you weren't so cold in your room.
Yeah.
And one more thing, our grandfather, he made schnappe, he called it.
Schnappa,
Schnappe.
schnappa, Dad.
Yeah, and he'd bring it up the stairs in the morning. If my parents were staying there, everybody had to have their little, what do they call those?
Like a shot,
Shot, yeah. I
a
guess.
shot of schnappa.
Schnappe.
Wow.
Yeah, did that. And also, he had people, hey, did your pop sell the whiskey he made?
Oh yes.
He did,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
Wow. Who came for it? Who was the lady that came every other day? What was her name? She take in a brown bag and talk for about 10 minutes?
Do you remember,
What was
Dad?
her
the,
name?
the lady that would come every other day to get some of your dad's whiskey.
No.
Oh.
Hey, Alice.
Alice Loger.
That's right.
Oh, now he remembers. Alice Loger.
Yeah, Alice Loger.
Yeah, she wasn't drinking it. Her husband was.
Wow.
What did Dallas Loger do?
Oh,
Whiskey.
her husband drank
Yeah,
it.
she got it for her husband. He wanted her to go to jail for illegal illegal alcohol instead of him coming to get
I
it.
thought she ran some kind of establishment.
Oh my
So
gosh.
anyway, it's
That's
just,
funny. Wow. Life was so different. And then you
Yeah.
had to walk to school, no car, huh? How far did you walk to school?
Half a mile.
Half a mile. Rain or shine or snow, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
they had a creek running through the town, and it produced enough water. His pop would go and bring 2 buckets up the hill of spring water because their water wasn't very good where they were. Well, which later we found out a reason why, but
Oh.
Victor fixed that too.
Oh.
You don't want to know it.
Uh-oh.
I'll tell you. Not a drop had ever gone into the,
The drinking water?
well, I don't know. It was a cement, like,
Oh, the
thing
water was
for
in a
the-
cement enclosure.
never went in. And I got sick all the time. Every time I went to Weston, I was
Oh, from the water?
sick. It was the water.
Oh.
The well was right next to it.
Oh.
The well was, and
Leaking into there.
yeah.
Wow.
Oh, gee. Yeah. So
Wow.
That
Well, I'm
wasn't
glad
good.
you're okay.
But he
and
fixed it.
You fixed the bad water that had something leached into it that made everybody sick. Weren't you a plumber at one time?
Yeah.
Yeah. You've done a lot of things. Do you like dancing, Dad?
Oh, does he like dancing?
Yeah.
A dancing fool.
I have pictures of you and Annette dancing. I think actually up on that board there's a picture of you and Annette dancing.
Yes, there is one.
Mm-hmm.
Years ago, not now.
Yeah, we danced at Kelsey and Luke's wedding 7
That's-
years ago for like 3
That's
hours.
right. I did
My
too.
dad and I were on the dance floor
Yeah,
for
he
like
took
3 hours.
me out too.
And yeah, it
And I was still line dancing in those days.
that was 7 years ago,
yeah,
not that long ago.
I did the line dancing then.
Oh, 5? Oh, 5.
The ladies always liked Vic because he was such a good dancer
And very handsome.
and very handsome.
Yes. You were a big exercise man.
Oh yeah.
Remember we had that bar in Paradise? Do you remember when we were growing up in Paradise, you had some sort of a big high bar and you would do exercises like around the bar. Do you remember doing that? Pull-ups and then just swing around it.
Like a gymnastics high bar?
Kind of, yeah, but he would just like put it right here and like flip over and do
Yeah.
like a somersault.
Sure.
Oh
He
yeah.
would do all
Oh, that
these
is like a
things on this
gymnastics.
bar.
I know the Marines used to do a lot of that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And my dad, do you remember your big bicep? We used to call him Popeye.
The what?
Oh yeah.
Your big biceps. Because he's such
Yeah.
a small man. And my kids, I don't know. Do you guys remember, Kelsey, wherever you are? You would be so amazed. My dad would go like this, and his bicep would be like huge, and he's so tiny. So they would just be amazed by that. And he used to do this giraffe neck thing, which I don't think he can do now because he has a sore neck. Remember the giraffe neck? Would that hurt you to do it right now?
Huh?
Could you do it now, or would that hurt you?
How's that like this?
Yeah, remember you used to go like. Yeah, where you? Oh, he would do that. He did it. He would do it, but he would do it really. It was super funny. Giraffe neck and the bicep, man. And all the lectures on healthy eating.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, tell the story about how you tried to gain weight when you were younger because you could never gain weight. What did you do and almost killed yourself? But what did you do to try to gain weight? Do you remember?
No.
Oh gosh, he used to tell me this all the time. He doesn't remember now, but he was so thin all his life and he tried to gain weight and he ate cubes of butter. Remember he would eat cubes of butter and then he got really sick because he was eating cubes of butter and like clogging his arteries. But he was trying everything to gain weight. You don't remember eating cubes of butter?
Yeah.
Yeah, now he does. And he would always tell me that story. Oh my gosh.
Did you tell them about Bitchy Botchy? What happened to Bitchy Botchy?
Bitchy botchy?
He cranked up his old Ford and it ran over him.
Oh.
It ran over him.
Ford.
Somebody in his town that lived in your town named Bitchy Botchy. What kind of name is that? Cranked up his car and then it ended up like starting and it ran over him. But then the guy's name was Bitchy Botchy. And he said that's his real name, not a nickname. That's crazy. I want to hear about polenta. Like how often did you eat polenta growing up? Because you love polenta.
Yes.
How often did you eat that?
Almost every other day.
Every other day. How did they make it?
Cooked the cornmeal water on the stove.
Well, and then did you eat it with gravy or meat?
Gravy, usually
Yeah,
gravy.
gravy.
Gravy and meat and
Yeah.
polenta. Wow.
Yeah.
I remember you
It's
making
really
polenta when I was growing up in Paradise. We had polenta a lot.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You would make it with the gravy and you'd make it in a round dish and cut it in little pie wedges so they'd be little triangles. And that, do you remember that?
Make it pretty.
Yeah.
We should do that.
I've never made polenta. I feel bad.
Tradition.
We're having polenta tonight, though, for part of our meal.
Oh, good.
Yeah. It's so funny when Fred and I were on the planning committee and we were talking about the caterer and choices for meals. He said, well, are they going to have polenta? And it just made me laugh because my dad loves polenta. And I'm like, that must be a Fedrizzi thing because two men, like, want polenta. I thought that was so cute. We're having it, but there's no gravy on it, though, so hopefully it will be okay.
I see a lot of head
not gonna
nodding
have gravy.
about the polenta.
My grandmother, his sister-in-law used to make polenta about every other day when I visited.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
gosh.
we had it just like that.
Wow, with the gravy, or like in the triangles, like a round thing in
Exactly.
triangles.
She usually didn't make it in triangles. She just put it in a bowl.
Oh,
but
in a
it would
bowl.
always have the meat gravy on
Oh,
it, just like you were
yeah.
describing. It was
And it's so
delicious.
funny because my dad
It is
doesn't
so
like
good.
gravy because he's such a health nut, but he wants his gravy on his polenta, so it's funny.
As a kid, after a long day of playing, it was perfect. It was
Oh, yeah.
perfect
Yeah.
comfort food, like mashed
Oh,
potatoes. or
wow.
something. So
We're
good.
going to have some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That or gnocchi. That was the other one. that
Oh,
she liked.
gnocchi.
Is that how you pronounce
Did you have
it?
gnocchi?
That's how she pronounced
What?
it.
Some
Did you ever have
pronounce it
gnocchi?
Gnocchi.
Yogi?
Gnocchi or something? Gnocchi, is that a
Gnocchi.
type of noodle? Gnocchi?
The way she made it out of potato pasta
Oh,
chunks.
Yeah.
potato pasta chunks called gnocchi or gnocchi. Did you have that?
Gnocchi.
Gnocchi?
They said it.
Oh,
Gnocchi.
I don't know. My dad doesn't. Maybe he didn't remember how we know.
All I know is my grandmother called it gnocchi whenever she made it.
Does that
It's
taste
not
the
as good.
same?
It's
People
not as
are
good.
listening to you. Tell us all these
Yeah.
stories.
Wow.
I've tried it. It's not as good as grandma's.
Oh yeah, nothing's ever
But
good
she
as
would that
homemade.
would simmer the entire day on the stove. So that was probably
Wow.
part of it.
Wow.
What's the
boy.
secret for longevity? Was it the polenta?
Oh yeah, Dad. Why? How are you living so long? What's the secret to long life? Do you have any words of wisdom?
Exercise.
Exercise. Anything else? How about what you eat? Do you think what you eat helps you live longer if you eat healthy?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about soda? Do you think
No.
people should drink soda?
No.
No. What about French fries?
No.
What about donuts?
No.
Do you like pie?
Pie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you like pie crust?
No.
No pie crust. I've had about 1 million lectures on all these things. Not to ever eat them. I'm trying to think of what else that he would give me lectures on.
What about wine? What about red?
Oh, what about red wine? Is that okay? Red wine?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
There you go.
He's never been much of a drinker though. Like
You
I just
gotta have a little bit.
yeah,
every
I just
once in a
remember
while.
him every once in a while having like this jug of Burgundy. Burgundy, which do they even make that anymore?
Oh sure.
It was like Burgundy. He would just have like a little thing. That's funny. Remember, you used to have Burgundy wine. Burgundy wine. I remember that. That's funny. What's your favorite dessert? Do you like fruitcake?
Yeah.
He loves fruitcake.
How
Oh,
many people here love fruitcake?
Do you guys like fruitcake? Is that a Fedrizzi thing? My dad loves fruitcake, and he would buy me one every Christmas. And
Most people don't like it. Raise your hand if you don't like fruitcake.
don't like fruitcake.
I wouldn't say
Mine's
no. I'd
dumb.
say it's pretty good.
I like it.
My
I
dad
buy
loves it.
4 of them myself from Collins Street Bakery.
That's
every
where my
year.
dad would buy them from, Collins Street Bakery, and they were super expensive.
Yes,
and he
they
would buy me
still are.
one every year, and I felt so bad. I was like $50, and I was like, it's like, where's the chocolate cake? He's so cute. Anything else you want to say? You want to say anything to all the people here?
Thank you all for coming.
Of course.
We had a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you made it for us.
So
Fred.
nice. Everybody came here just to see you.
I did have just a few questions, if there's any, just that from my. So I'll tell you again. I'm your brother Albert's grandson.
Albert's grandson.
I'm Albert's
Greg.
grandson, and he told me a number of stories, and I just wanted to see if they were true. I've also driven through Weston, we happened to drive through Weston at one point, and according to my grandmother, who had been there, his wife Fanny, it hadn't changed much. It still looked exactly the same. It was still an unincorporated town.
Right.
It was about 10 years ago. So my grandpa played the accordion.
Do you remember Albert playing the accordion?
And he said that when he decided he was going to learn the accordion, you wouldn't let him play in the house. He had to practice in the outhouse.
Oh. Did
That's what he
Albert
said.
have to practice in the outhouse? Because you
That
wouldn't let him?
when he was trying to learn it, they said his mom threw it, said no longer in the house. You have to practice out in the outhouse.
Do you remember that, Dad? Do you remember that? So you
That
were
was
home
what he
and
said.
When Albert was first trying to learn the accordion and he wasn't very good at it, he said that your mom kept telling him he could not practice in the house. He had to go out in the outhouse to practice. Do you remember that? No, he doesn't remember that.
But you remember him playing the accordion. That's my. I remember when I was a kid, he would bring out the accordion and play it for us, and he was very good. And then the story.
That was a
This
very
is
good,
more a
I
story
don't know
that
if you
my
heard that.
grandpa told
They
me.
could hear this.
He said the reason why he learned the accordion was so he could get out of working in the coal mines in Weston, because he was so scared of them. He said he was almost caught in a blast in the coal mines. That a man he was working with saved him by pushing him into an alcove as a blast came by. And he said after that happened, he decided he was going to find a way to get out of Weston. That's what he said.
Oh, really?
And that's why he learned the accordion. He said so he could play in Niagara Falls.
Oh, play Niagara Falls?
Albert said the reason he learned to play the accordion is so he could get out of being a coal miner. He didn't want to be in the coal mines. Do you remember that? Yeah.
He said he narrowly escaped death twice as a child and working at age 13 in the coal mines.
Tell Caitlin the story about the red.
Anyway, that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, that is so great to know. Thank you for jogging his memory. Certainly.